you need. The enemy of my enemy is my mother. She does not want to be, but she is the enemy of my father simply for existing. She stands in the middle of her family, trying to pull her child toward a father who is enemy to us too. She is not my enemy. I don't want her to be my enemy. I just want my mom. But it's hard to miss something you've never had. I crave the love I was never given, the attention I had to steal in moments of bad behavior to be seen, picking fights with the bullies at school because at least when they called me names, I was able to fight back. My enemy is my father. My enemy is the trauma he bestowed upon us all. I don't know whether or not to forgive my mom for all the time she defended him, for fear of being the subject of his anger herself. She knew if she did something wrong, he would not leave her alone until he had broken her happiness and his anger into manageable pieces. She would leave for a few hours, go shopping, hide the evidence of the McDonald's she had eaten at the bottom of the trash can. I would balance between hiding and cleaning, trying to make up for the ways my mother had set him off, hoping he would spare me. He never did. My enemy is my brother, the golden child, the favorite, the smart one, the strong one, the good-looking one, the talented one, the better one. Did you know my brother can play 6 instruments and graduated high school with a cumulative GPA of 4.2? Did you know he won every year at his piano competitions? I was never able to forget, following in my father's footsteps by justifying his ruthless remarks as the truth. Both men of science who don't care about feelings, he was the one who taught himself more French in 2 months than I had learned in 2 years of studying my ass off. His handwriting was small and beautiful. He had the face of my father and the height of my mother. I don't talk to him anymore. He was never one for spending time with his little sibling anyway. He spent more time telling me to stop being so loud when whispering, ruining anything that might have a chance of getting me attention. He begs me not to cut contact with my parents, because then he would be the one who was treated like shit. He didn't last 3 months as their scapegoat before snapping and threatening to go no contact himself. My family is unified against me. I am the division, the exception, the black sheep, the one who can't play any instruments and is a B-average student who got blamed for the McDonald's bags at the bottom of the trash can, crumpled and crushed until it could hopefully be forgotten about, small enough that it didn't matter until it was time to be mad about its existence. To the enemy of my enemy, happy Mother's Day. Things they don't tell you about being mentally ill. The amount of people that will call you a liar. Which is funny because that can cause mental illness to fester and a mind covered with mold and mushrooms from darkness and the heat of anger rising from boiling blood. How heavy your tongue will feel trying to explain for the 100th time why you're not lazy. The aches that turn to pains when ligaments and nerve endings are slowly compressed into numbness. How hard it is to find help while prison bars start to form around the bed. A loss you can get in any book that can hold your attention when work can't. That a to-do list can get long enough, a pen dries up. It needs time to rest. It can't write with no ink. It can't give unless there is something there to take. Darkness becomes more and more like the warmest blanket cold winter nights can give. Sleep, the only way to get any peace and quiet. How good a spark of dopamine feels, wiping away the grimy layers covering up sunshine and melting away the prison bars, giving away to the rainbow that always comes after the storm. This is old shit, by the way. Google Docs deleted a lot of my poems randomly, but I found some of the same ones that were still in my notes app because I'm too lazy to delete them. Let's go. I can't tell you the amount of times curiosity has gotten the best of me and I've looked something up, for the only result to be the number for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. I promise I'm not trying to kill myself, only thinking about what I would do if I got the urge. Preparing for the day I need more covers than my blankets, and the compression therapy of 6 feet of dirt these lungs would not inhale, they would only sigh with relief. Fists wouldn't bang on the coffin door and beg for people to listen, they would be too bloodied from beating myself up. I wouldn't register the lack of oxygen to my brain because I'd already be dead tired. When I imagine my future, I wonder who will come to my funeral. Whether bullies would stick to their word that I'm better off dead, or if suddenly I'd be celebrated in a way I never was in life, transformed from troublesome student to hometown hero. I wonder if everyone who called me a faker would believe me now. I wonder how long it would take tear-stained pillowcases to dry and the red blood to run black. Part of me wants to find out, wants to see how many statistics I can contribute to the number of teenagers that kill themselves, how many had self-harmed, how many were prescribed medication, how many were trans or queer, how many had a good relationship with their parents, how many said they felt safe at school, how many showed signs for months or years before it happened, how many tried to ask for help, but their tongues got caught in the cogs of a machine that doesn't care how they feel, how many wanted answers and got referred to the number for the National Suicide Hotline, how many told friends they loved them before committing. That reminds me, I need to tell you something. It's important you know I love you. Okay, that was some heavy shit, so we're gonna do a love poem now. Emotional whiplash up in this bitch. Shout out to my fiance behind the camera. Dear Goblin I love, I am marrying you for tax reasons. More specifically for federal student aid reasons, because college is ridiculously expensive, even though we don't have our own place, because rent is also ridiculously expensive, and because we have the world's biggest baby, also known as a German Shepherd. So I sit in our basement bedroom planning our wedding, even though you just proposed, but we have to be married by May to make our marriage apply to our FAFSA applications for the fall semester, and stressing over my vows because we're poets. So the bar for wedding vows is really high. But it's hard to be stressed about our wedding because it will be with you. And I sit in our basement bedroom that we painted in colors you let me pick out, with fancy $15 gold-colored light switch covers, and it feels like home. Because we have made the small space full of love and trinkets. Because we were crows in a past life, I'm sure. And we're suckers for anything shiny. Which is why I am so excited to be married, surrounded by the family we have collected. Picking the ones that shine the brightest to light up our small wedding venue, whatever it may be. And it will be the most beautiful wedding ever done for tax reasons. I love you in partnership as I will in marriage. And I will also love the federal student aid you give me. And so will you, because you're a real-life Mr. Krabs who would do just about anything for money. Which is why it's really funny that you're marrying your biggest expense. But we will go into debt together. Our first apartment will be shitty, but we will fill it with all our trinkets, including pictures of our wedding, because we always get away with it. Basically, I love you, and that's kind of gay. Love, bun bun, pumpkin, / the world's best bedtime negotiator. Yeah. I'm giggling and kicking my feet, but you know what? You guys get to put up with it because Caleb made the mistake of giving me a stage and a mic. Oh shit. Oh wait, I have 10 minutes. Oh wait, is that left? Well, okay. So we're gonna go back to some sad shit. I told you, emotional whiplash. The hard truth is, I will always want to forgive my dad. After all, he's my father, and he's been there since I was born. He is one of my creators. I have been taught to love my creators. I have been taught to love all those who have made me who I am and have given me all of that knowledge. But some of the knowledge I am still unlearning. For example, the commandments of surviving authority. If I disagree with someone, I have to fight with them about it. Fights have to be hostile and violent. 3, violence is okay if it means I maintain control. 4, control is needed to gain power. 5, power is best maintained through fear, real or imagined. 6, power is the most important thing I could ever have. 7, my power measures my self-worth. 8, I have no power. See, this relationship is complicated because no matter how many times his fist punched through layers of plaster and drywall, it was okay. Because he always got me ice cream after. Glass got smashed and "fuck you" shouted across rooms. Those sounds linger in my ears much longer than the taste of any French vanilla on my tongue. It makes it hard to hate him sometimes. But it makes it even harder to love him. If I loved him, I wouldn't know who I was loving. It becomes harder and harder to tell if the narrative he spins is the truth. He made sure I put on my rose-tinted glasses only when I was looking at him. Newspaper articles were shoved at me while eating breakfast telling me how awful the world is. Someone was shot to death at the mall. Read the name and age of one girl who got hit by a car. Look closer. See how you can't trust anybody? Now look at your dear old dad and see someone you can trust. When I'm at a friend's house and a cabinet door bangs closed, my body is frozen in fear. My arms a useless shield against my dad's oral assault when I drop a pen in class. My shoulders fold in on themselves, make them thin enough to slide between notebook pages, never criticize a school lunch or risk having to take from the emergency stash in my backpack. I am old enough now to get my own prescription lenses. And I can see right through his bullshit. Now, I have my own list. The commandments of self-respect. 1, if I disagree with someone, I can talk to them about it. 2, talking should never be hostile or violent. 3, violence is not control. 4, control is not something I need. 5, fear does not mean power. 6, power cannot be taken away. 7, my power does not measure my self-worth. 8, I will always have power. With these new glasses, I can see the good in people. But dear old dad, I can't seem to find it in you. Hopefully, I can bury these grievances before burying your casket.